Welcome back to Well Balanced Horsemanship. We're out here with Tess again. Tess is really getting ready for that first ride. And what I noticed today, we'd been working her in the square pen, had the saddle on her. She was nice and calm, moving around and things. Brought her out here, she saddled just fine. But when she started moving around, I just noticed she was very tense. Just wasn't what I was looking for. And even now, she's standing here relaxed pretty much. But as soon as moving around, you can just kind of see she was tensed, and she actually just threw up a little buck. So things aren't right to step on her now. We don't want to just try to, well, okay, let's ride it out. We want to get her calm. We want to get her accepting of everything that we're doing. So what we're going to do is kind of change up what our plans were here today. And first thing we're going to do is just move her around a little bit and let her get used to that saddle. This isn't round penning. I am not going to make her just run and run and run. What I'm going to do is just ask her to move, and when she needs to stop, she can stop. I'm not pushing her. I'm just asking her to move her feet, but when she wants to stop, I want to let her stop, get that dopamine, and learn to regulate her emotions when she's got that pressure around that girth area and that saddle on her, as well as she does without it. So we've got to back up a little step here and go back through some things with the saddle on. She was doing really great in that confined area. Brought her out here and it was a little different. So we're just going to ask her to move around a little bit by creating a little pressure and let her understand that that pressure around her waist and that saddle is not something that's going to bother her. So there, she stopped very quick. She chose to stop. She went right for that dopamine hit, and I'm just going to back away from her. She did what she needed to do. So we're just going to, she walked away, doesn't want to pay attention to me. So just like we did in the square pen, she doesn't want to pay attention, we move her feet. There, she kind of thought about bucking up and taking off there, and she didn't. If you go back and hit rewind real quick, watch when she was right over here. She thought about it, but she chose not to. Like I said, I'm not going to keep pushing her. She can stop whenever she wants. So I'm even going to quit moving. There. She decided to stop, focus on me. This is where you have to be present with the horse and kind of feel what's going on with them. Try to feel their emotions, feel what they're feeling, understand what they're feeling, and give them what they need. They need time to settle down into this. So I'm not asking her to go fast or anything. I liked how she gave me her shoulder away from me when I asked her to turn. Let her walk just a little bit. Just want to keep her moving a little bit. She's really hanging and pulling on me. But then if I bump back, she's wanting to stop. This is something that's a little new development, because when I was lunging her before without the saddle, she was doing really good. So it tells me she's got a trigger. She's got something here. Something here that's making her a little nervous. That's what's tough about training, because it's our job to figure out what it is. They can't tell us. Whoa. So she started not pulling quite as much, started getting a little softer, so I just went ahead and stopped. All right, so we're going to ask her for those hip yields again. Come on, keep going, girl. Whoa. Alright, she's not pulling on this side at all. Let's run over here to this side and see how she does here. Whoa. And she's not pulling on me in the slightest bit. So I really like that. So she's really calming down quite a bit. If you see in those hip yields, I've got my chest, or top of my belly, right up against her. I want to do that, so I'm touching down in here. I've got my body against her. Guess what happens when you ride? Your leg's going to slide back and forth here. Get her used to some pressure here. Don't be afraid of getting a little horse sweat on you. Bump into your horse. Bump into him. Use your body to help move them around. Let them feel your body on you. So that way when you start getting up in the saddle, they've already felt it. All right. So she's changed dramatically from when we first put this saddle on. So we're going to take her to the next step here. There, she got a little nervous. So she stopped. Could see her tense up a little bit. She moved a step. So I just kept going a couple times and moved away from her. Alright, she's doing good there. So we're going to come over to the other side. I've had knee surgeries on both knees and older, so I got to have some help to get up here on this. And it's going to look clunky and awkward. But if I can't get up on this side and move around with her, what's going to happen when I swing a leg over from the other side and it comes onto this side? I want to make sure she's good on that side too. Like I said, I know she's been rode before and bounded, but I want to make sure I'm not seeing any other triggers here, because we want the first ride to be successful and not even let her go into that thinking, I'm scared I need to buck. All right. It is a hot one here in Florida. So now we're going to really put her under a little bit more pressure here before I swing a leg over. I want to be able to move around, move this off saddle stirrup around. A little flinchy there, but that's not bad. So now what I'm going to do is ask her to disengage that hip. She already knows what that answer is. There. Good. I want to make sure that hip will disengage before I swing a leg over her. Because that's, if something goes bad, that's how I'm going to get her stopped. I want to make sure she knows that answer. Whew. And it is hot out. All right, girl. I think you are ready. I think you are ready. And we're going to paddle a little bit. I'm watching her head. There, she got just a little nervous, so I'm going to stop. And I'm going to ask her to disengage that hip. Whoa, atta girl. So we're going to ask her to walk off here. So what I'm doing is really watching and focusing on her head and her body. I started out with just some hip yields, moving her hip around, keeping her head bent, keeping her in something that she knew. And then as we moved on, we started into some bigger circles, just moving her along. And what I'm doing is I'm watching her head. When her head is down, her mind is on. When her head comes up, her mind is off. So when her head comes up, I bring that nose around even more because it tells me she's not thinking she's about to do something stupid. When her head is down, I just kind of release and let her walk, but I'm never really going totally straight. I'm ready to bring that head around. Whoa. If something was to happen. Even here, her head's up a little bit, I'm gonna bend that head a little bit. And if you noticed, every time I went to swing a leg up, to stand up or get on, I had her head bent. That way, I can put her right into a hip yield. And her first step off was into a hip yield. It prevents that, oh shit, and jumping forward. Or bolting off. We're showing her the correct answer, just walking off into something she already knew. Which is why that hip yield is so very important. Practice it, practice it, practice it. Get your horse 100% with it. Now she's still a little nervous about walking off and getting going, but she's done a great job today. I really didn't even think I'd swing a leg over her today. But calmed down, caught onto everything really, really good. So I'm tickled pink. Her owner, Haley, is here. Zoom down on Haley. Haley, what'd you think?
I'm floored. I mean, honestly, when we first saw her in the round pen today, I thought for sure we weren't going to be able to swing a leg over her. And after watching you work with her for, 5-10 minutes and seeing, her, all that tension leave her body and everything, I was really floored. And she didn't look any different from when you got on her, when you were walking her around, and when you got off of her. She stayed exactly the same.
Can you hear her in the audio good? Okay, let me ask you this. When you've walked her around, has she been that calm?
No. Oh gosh, no.
Okay, so in the less than a month that we've had her, you've seen 1 to 10 difference.
Absolutely a 10. Absolutely
Okay.
a 10.
Well, we're going to keep working on it because now she's already shown she can do it. Now she's moving on to jogging and loping. Not today. It's too doggone hot out here. But she's going to move right along.